Morning. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, and present with us is road crew or road department supervisor Bear Taylor. And before we get going, I've got some minutes here from September 10th of 2024, January 28th, 2025, November 4th, 2025, and we also got and then meeting with that's HR. Okay.
I'll make a motion on the 2024 ones, and Craig won't be a part of that.
Right, okay.
What date is that?
And I'll second that.
September 10th, 2024.
I'd second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then the other two are January 28th and then November 4th of 2025. Entertain a motion. I'll make a motion to approve. Okay, a second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
You can't sign that ones.
Oh, that's right. I gotta sign that. I'll do it. So we don't lose it.
You can sign it, you just have to sign it all along.
I can do that. That one, and then the rest are nothing, right? I mean, they're not for this. Yep, okay. Yeah, that's the one that you can. The other two. Yeah.
Are the other ones we can do in this meeting, Helen, or are they?
I don't,
Which
I
one?
mean,
What are they?
there's HR and health and other sorted.
HR meeting.
Are those ones we've all been
Preliminary
through
plat
already?
extension.
Already? Okay.
Yeah.
We could probably go ahead and.
The health department was the one I accidentally missed the last time when Pam was in here. I meant to.
One from the, there's a couple from the 2024, three of them from 2024 that you guys will have to do.
Oh.
We can do those right now, but
Okay.
out of here, so.
Everything but the meeting with HR. We've done them all.
Yeah, those are done. There's
Yeah.
three of them in the back. And then
Okay.
the last one is 2025, but
Yeah, we've done that. Let's look at that one. On health supervisor, that's one I forgot to read today. Meeting with the county health nurse, December 3rd. I mean sanitarian. 2024. I would read minutes. Not one, okay. County health nurse, 2025. Yeah, we can probably get them. We sort of got them in order there.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting with the county health nurse December 3rd, 2024, the county sanitarian December 3rd, 2024, and Boulder administration December 17th of 2024, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I would second that.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
All right, and I'll make a motion to approve meeting with HR on January 28th of 2025. That one we can probably do in a commission meeting there.
Okay.
Meeting with county health nurse November 4th, 2025, and meeting with county health nurse October 7th, 2025. Those three, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, you entertaining a motion then, sir?
Yep, that's the motion.
Okay, so second, all those in favor?
Aye. All right, I think we're good. We'll just save that one for a regular meeting
Oh,
since that was kind
sign them as
of.
we get going here, so I don't go there. These are signed, right? Did you sign those? Right, on your two? For that 2025. Yeah. Yeah, those are done. Those are. This is all. Oh, pension parts. Oh, yeah.
that's one we'll do.
Oh, that's one we're saving, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do, is
I
put
didn't
that back
put it-
in here. Okay, I got this.
I'll give all these back to Helen,
In that,
and then
okay.
she can. fix that one this afternoon.
2024 ones.
Okay.
Need an auto pen.
Something.
Yeah.
Let's get started on that.
Helen
one.
can just push the
There you
button.
go.
Oh, before the signature.
Didn't one of our clerk and recorders, somebody have a stamp for the commission signatures at one point.
I had one at the sheriff's office, just
Yeah, I
in
think they
case
used
I
to do
wasn't
that for,
there or
like,
something.
Payroll and stuff to put on the checks.
I know certain things we're not allowed to do that, but
Yeah, there was one of the other offices besides the commission that got in trouble for having a stamp and would stamp the commission signatures on stuff and wasn't good.
can you get me one of those? Yeah, I wanted one just for doing claims and they said no.
Yeah.
Nope.
You can't just initial them anymore.
We're working on getting claims automated so you can just go online.
We're the guinea pigs.
You're the guinea pigs? Okay, you know all about it. then.
We are starting this week with the test run.
See if it makes any more efficiency besides the saving paper.
Well, I think it's gonna, I mean, one is paper and ink savings, cause it's expensive, but you're not gonna have missed signatures because we have to go through them and do them on there. So I think it'll make it more efficient in that manner.
That'd be right at your fingertips if you need to see a claim from 3 weeks ago or whatever.
And then the other nice thing is, you know, a lot of our invoices or receipts now are coming digitally too. So instead of having to scan them
You can just
and make copies, we can just pull it right over from the email or whatnot. Makes it a lot more streamlined process.
cool.
The nice thing about the program is that I've already been working with Shane on this, is we're gonna try to retool it to do our encroachment permits. So that we can have a digital tracking, but also just have everything more streamlined. We can put a link on the website so folks can apply online, and hopefully we'll see how that turns out. Then we'll turn it, I've been talking to Shane about a lot of stuff, like digitizing our inspection checklist for culverts, signs, bridges, different things for that avenue, but he's got a lot of work to do, so it'll take a while. We still gotta get the internet in Whitehall completely finished, so
Yeah.
we're still having issues with that.
Sarah, would you like to lead us on what's going on in your weekly meeting? please?
Sure. One thing that's missing out of here that was in the last week's report is that citizens request report, because we had
Oh, yeah.
no new issues other than people calling for more sand and snow plowing. Guys have been out, we're doing everything we can where it needs to be done. Gravel roads are still pretty soft, so they're being very gentle if there's enough snow to warrant us being out on them. I think the guys did a pretty good job of keeping things open this weekend, so we'll see what this weekend brings. Up north is expected to get a lot more snow than the rest of the county, so they'll be a little busy. We've already got the guys in Montana City are planning on being in Friday, scheduled them to work at least 4 hours to see what the storm brings. If it's nothing, they'll head out. If there's snow, they'll stay all day. But reminded everyone that part of the going to 410s was if there's snow on Friday, we're gonna be here, so.
You swap days or you just give them overtime?
Just overtime, unless it's gonna be repetitive, we can look at swapping days, but, looking back at our overtime trackers, there was, I don't remember the number off my head, but it was only like 5 days last winter that we had to have somebody come in on a Friday, so it's not a lot.
Filling the budget. then,
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And everybody, all my guys take comp time instead of overtime anyways. There's once in a while, the guy might take a little overtime, but. So it's really not hurting our budget. It's swapping days to when they need a day, not just a random day of the week, so. So far it's working pretty good. We're just working on ways to be more responsive, and then reminding guys that, you know, if I got 2 guys in a section, they can't both plan on being out of town on the same weekend. We gotta have a little communication there. That happened to me here in Boulder this weekend, but made it through, but that's why you don't see that report in there. The work order report is a lot of snow removal, some tree trimming. You've seen a lot of equipment and facility maintenance on here, but we're doing a lot of work in the shops of cleaning, reorganizing, going through stuff that we haven't touched in 5 years. Inventorying what's products we have on the shelves as far as signposts and signs. Building some shelves in a couple buildings. Up in Montana City, they actually ripped the walls out of the old tool room that was taking up a lot of space. So now we can put 4 snow plows and a loader inside the shop. Build a bunch of shelves up there. So that's why you're seeing a lot of that stuff. It's not just guys sitting in the shop killing time. We're really going through a lot of equipment from the summer, plows, just really staying busy, but doing a lot of this busy work that gets missed a lot of years. So that's why you see a lot of that. And then they also turned in about 5 work orders after I'd already printed this report for some bridge work they did yesterday in Bernice. So you'll see that next week.
On the Boulder side there on the tree trimming and stuff, was that down over here on the upper and lower?
Yeah,
down
a lot
the-
of it down on Lower Valley.
Lower Valley.
We're hoping to meet with Brad Smith this afternoon to try and make a plan down around his place, just so we can be courteous about what we're taking out down there, because I know he's kind of got his set up and it's real close.
Okay.
So we're hoping to meet with him today, because that's getting to be a big problem there. On Hubbard Lane, as soon as you turn off of 69, there's a lot there on the north side of the road. Guy just blanked at Fatness is the one running cattle in there. He's getting ready to redo that fence, so we talked to him about what we're doing. We're gonna go just rip everything out and pull whatever fence is in our way. He says, don't worry about putting it back, so that'll help us get that area cleaned up. And then we got a bunch, trees are something that we never run short of.
I'm sure.
We can find trees everywhere, so. We got a bunch to do down in Whitehall. Their backhoe's in the shop right now. Once that's done, they'll get going on some trees down there. That kind of upcoming projects, still working on a lot of inventory stuff, working on the shops. There's still a lot of work to do there. We will be working on a lot of tree trimming in between storms. Still got a few culverts that we got to dig out the heads of to get ready for runoff. McCarty Creek, we got everything up there to start last week. The snow hit. We're restructuring our plan up there. We were gonna have trucks hauling material, but it's too icy to have our 10-wheelers up there. So it'll take a little longer, but we're just gonna have the track hoe and loader up there moving dirt. So there'll be less guys, but it's gonna take us a little longer to do these culverts, just because it will be safer not having trucks up there. But we still plan on getting to that in between storms. One other item on there, we did pick up that new plow from Floyd's last week. Really a nice truck. Other than the driver's seat, that thing's in great condition. They had a couple leaks that they're working on right now on the transfer case that their shop didn't do. And then they're putting a radio in it and stickers on it. And then once we get the rest of the paperwork from them with the title, so we get it registered, it'll be ready for service. So hopefully this week, next week, we should have that in the fleet. It's a good truck. It runs really good, real smooth, real low miles. Everything functions on it. There was no issues with it when we got it. Not like the truck we got from Lewis and Clark that's still sitting in the shop and not wanting to run right. So,
Don't have a sander and everything on it.
yeah, it's ready. It was turnkey for the most part. They said we had a few repairs that we caught, and they had mentioned them in the work order from when they did the inspection, but it was more than they were going to do to sell it.
Yeah.
They're not difficult repairs. They were just some maintenance items. Like I said, it'll be ready to go for once we get the paperwork to get plates on it, so we can get it on the road. As far as our speed reports go and vehicle counts, that has turned into be a lot easier now that I learned a different way to print off their reports. This is from the last week to the new location on Rock Ridge, up around the corner where the residents had requested it to be.
This is new information.
This is for the last week.
Okay, nice.
Yep, this is from, is it Monday? You know what, I might have to double check this.
12/1 to 12/7.
No, that's this week. I might have to run that one and email it to you, but,
Because it's showing all the rest of the dates are NA
yeah.
from today.
Is there a place to put notes up here, Bear, like you can
Hmm.
put if it's facing up or facing down, and maybe even if it's on stealth mode or on flash mode, I don't know if you can put that.
It
information.
doesn't, but I'll try and include that. It doesn't give me an option for fields to add anything.
Any notes placed to put on.
No,
Okay.
no, but I can either just write it in the email body or figure out a way to edit the PDF or something. I thought this was for the whole time, but when I looked at it yesterday morning, it was showing last week's data. And it was very similar as far as your traffic counts, about 200, 250 a day. Still, the max speed was 29 miles an hour last week. It was like 17% was your violations, but none of them were more than 4 miles an hour over. But when I get back to the office this afternoon, I'll reprint that for the last week and email it to you. So yeah, the one shows your vehicle counts, and the other one shows your speed and averages, so.
You get any feedback from the community out there where you're doing these?
They
You
love
hear
it.
that?
Everybody, when I put it on McClellan Creek, I mean, I was there for 10 minutes and I had 3 people stop and tell me thanks for bringing it out there, so. Yeah, I've not had any negative. The only humorous negative would be when they went and moved this sign last week, somebody had taken a piece of tape and covered up the R from your and the S from speed.
What's that make?
You peed.
You what? You peed?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think they were thinking they were being funny or trying to cover the radar or something, but that's not where the radar was at, so.
That's pretty clever.
Yep. That was the only negative we've had on those signs, that and people want them there permanently. It's definitely been a benefit. You know, even just for the traffic data is really helping, so.
I think that's something the R&D could pay for, is a flashy sign.
If they wanted one there permanently, they could.
You think the R&D would pay for that? At the Aslodina, maybe.
Well, the Forest Park and Blue Sky doesn't have one.
They don't have an R&D, yeah, that's right.
Those are our roads.
But some of the other ones that might have an R&D, that might be an idea to
I'm
pay for
trying to
those
think
things.
if I haven't really had any speed complaints from most of the R and D subdivisions, though, like Martinez and.
Any of the little subdivisions, yeah, Metal Arc and all those that have R&Ds,
Yeah.
don't hear much from them.
I mean, I don't know if we're just not getting the complaints because they understand it's their dime or if it's not a problem. But I know I've heard complaints in the past from Metal Lark, but it's been a long time. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, we're dealing with some truck issues right now. I got a couple of them that are just got some gremlins we can't figure out, so we're taking them into another shop to have them looked at with some technology that we don't have. And luckily, we have enough plows, enough plows that we're not really hurting yet, but if anything we have goes down, it might be a different story. Once we get them all up and running, we'll be sitting with 3 spare trucks, which will get used because it never fails. At least one goes down every winter. Lots of work in work, a lot of inventory work with updating our sign and culvert and bridge inventory and getting those up to date better so that we can do our inspections and be just more efficient with what we're doing and tracking. So.
How's that been working out with your, I'm trying to think what it is, but you have in your truck, like you.
Oh, the road guard?
Yeah, road guard.
It's good. We're still toying with the idea of getting 1 or 2 more. We're not getting, like, it's not worth running reports out of every week because we know where our bad spots of road are. The nice thing for us is if we're out blading and the guys aren't sure if we should grade it, we can go run that real quick and look at the report and compare it and say, you know what, it's just this first 200 yards of this road that's bad. Don't grade the entire thing. So it's saving us a lot of time not blading roads that in the past we would have just graded because we were there. It is nice when we have, you know, constant question as to the quality of a road. We can go and run that road and say, this is what it looks like now. This is what it looked like the last time we drove it. So it gives us some historical data on that. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline with them that I think will make it more beneficial. The one thing that we've been talking with them about is it was at Macker's this last year where they've downsized the actual footprint of the device. The one I have is like in a big kind of Pelican case mounted in the back of the truck. Now it's not much bigger than the size of that coffee cup, half tall. But there's other counties that are starting to put them on their graders. And so when they're out grading the road, they're getting real-time feedback on how that road's being graded. Is the guy abusing the machine? You know, because if you're getting a lot of hard starts, hard stops? Are they hitting rocks, or are the guys not paying attention? Are they blading too fast? They're working on even getting cross slope into it so you can make sure they're grading it at the right slope. So there's a lot of stuff coming, and so they've given us some pricing that is a lot better than most other counties are getting, because we've been involved with them for a while. So I'm playing with the idea of ordering one or two more. But I kind of want to wait till we get a little bit, try to hold that threshold when they tell me you got to buy one now or you're going to pay full price, because I want to see where we're at in the budget as we get a little bit later in the year.
Will you be able to down the road do a software update on yours that you've got, besides having to buy these new ones if you do?
It does the same stuff. They just downsize the footprint.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying.
they have
Okay.
they were just able to make it a more compact
Ah.
unit, but it'll do the same. You'll get the same data out of it. So what really is making changes is the software side on the, like the dashboard,
Mhm.
the online stuff. That's where they're still, that, you know, it was so new when we first got it that it was very basic, and now they're getting all this data feeds from all these different counties using them now, because there's a lot of counties that have bought them. So by getting more data, now they're figuring out how to best use that data to make them more beneficial to everybody. So that's where it's constantly evolving. So they're not cheap. You're about $3,000 a unit. But if it's saving us $10,000 worth of time and work and fuel every year, they're a worthwhile investment. So, and if it makes it so we can teach guys how to blade a road better, because we can see what they're doing without sitting there, that's a benefit as well. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, I'd like to get one or two, maybe more eventually, but it's got to be, there's that thin line of when we're buying too many of them too. So
How many graders have you got right now?
we have 6.
Okay.
Usually we only have 4 of them going. Like on a normal day in the summer, you'd have 4. We'd have 2 in Montana City, and then 1 in Boulder and 1 in Wyall, just because we don't have the manpower. Because we gotta have a guy in the blade and 1 on the water truck. But like I said, just like our snow plow, it seems like one always breaks down. So I don't plan on getting rid of one anytime soon. It's nice also in the winter, because we'll have, you know, like here in Boulder, we'll put the snow wing on the old 140 and take it down to Elk Park, and we just leave it parked down there. It doesn't have to be plugged in, because it'll start when it's 10 below. If we gotta go down and wing or move snow, it's there ready to go.
Okay.
You ever figure out with MDOT if you can park it at their shop or
Yeah, we're good there.
we're there, okay.
Yeah, they'll even let us park it out on the side that has the dummy camera. They told me last winter, and I'll probably have to remind them, but they did say they could run an extension cord out for us to be able to plug it in, just so it does start easier.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
One thing with them is you just gotta constantly remind them. They'll forget.
Is it the same people from Boulder that do Elk Park?
Yeah. The Boulder section goes from Elk Park interchange to Clancy interchange,
Okay.
and then down to mile marker 21 on 69. That's kind of, I think that's all I got for you today. These reports make it a lot less that I gotta talk about.
Yeah.
One question with the reports, when I do come in here, do you want me to print them out, or can I just email them to you in the morning just to save the paper? Makes them a little bit easier to read if they're on a computer, but
I think you can just email them to me.
Same here.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get a look at them before the meeting.
yeah.
I do want to commend you, because I mentioned it last meeting here about you, where people are calling in and what their concerns are. And the folks that were here got to hear that, so hopefully some of them watched and are aware of what's now going on.
Yeah, we're trying.
So it's being looked at, I guess is what I'm saying, yeah.
We're trying. Like I said, we've got a lot of things that we can always improve on, but I think the last month we've seen a lot of improvements. So just trying to be more efficient and getting guys. It's the right word. You kind of get burned out on all the phone calls of sanding and plowing and doing and grading and whatever, and just reminding that this is our job and this is what we need to do. And whether we think it's worthwhile or not, sometimes we just have to do it. And it starts with me too. So you get burned out hearing the same complaints every day. I'm sure you guys don't have that problem.
you know.
Only on the road supervisor can call them back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I gotta give you something to do, you know. I do gotta get with Ladana. I've got a call from my guys late yesterday that subdivision down there on Hot Springs and Highway 2 that they're already putting in driveways or something, and we haven't seen any kind of permit applications from them. But
There's, I think only one off of our road. does
yeah,
that.
there's one on Hot Springs, the other one goes to Highway 2, but
Yeah.
they're supposed to have permits before they begin that.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard about that one.
You think they'd know that, or the contractor should know that?
Well, they should. It's part of the packet or whatever from Ladana, so they should have known.
Another one worked itself out on Highway 359, right, Van McEwen? That one where he was trying to put a hook
Oh,
on,
yeah, he got the
Sure.
survey
it's
done.
all taken care of.
Good. As far as I know, I haven't heard
The same
anything
here.
new since he,
Yeah,
last I heard he
okay.
was getting a survey done.
Yeah.
And I'm
that's
sure the
all I-
survey would show him that what he thought was his property was our right of way.
You would hope.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's it.
Okay. I got a whole list.
Oh,
He already knows about my list.
yeah, I don't have a list this time.
Looking at the bridge reports, this one was back from 11/5, so about a month ago. Basin Creek Bridge, rail damage, trees and debris under bridge. I know he worked on the one right by Basin, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and it's the same bridge, and so that the guardrail damage is as you're going up Basin Creek, somebody with the trailers hit that guardrail and tore a part of it. Well, the way they did the guardrail should have never been done that way in the first place. I was working with the state to see if they had a chunk of radius left over somewhere. Haven't been able to find one, so we're probably gonna have to take a piece and notch it and do it the way they did. We had intentions of doing it that day we were on the deck, we just didn't get it done, and so it's still in the works.
Okay,
As far as the debris, I thought that had been cleaned off, but I'll go down and double check.
yeah, it wouldn't hurt, I mean,
And
this
maybe
is
it's
just
got
things
more
that they,
since the last time we were up there. Cause I know there was somebody farther upriver that was in the river and throwing debris downstream,
Oh,
so. There could easily be more up there since the last time we cleaned it.
and a hazard panel, I think you ordered a hazard panel, I thought I saw that somewhere.
Yeah,
Is that
well,
what
we're gonna
reports or something?
relocate those because they are not in the right spot on that bridge anyways.
Okay,
Cause they're putting them clear back by the bridge and they should be up by the guardrail ends.
right.
And then you really don't need those as long as you got the stickers on the guardrail ends.
On the ends, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
there's some stuff we're planning on changing. I'm really hoping that bridge is replaced in 5 years, but
T-Bay Lane,
TB,
TB,
yeah, same thing with the debris.
compression
one, yeah.
seals.
Oh, I didn't know the compression seals. I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, I think that was in their report, and they said, I think the report actually said that that one was mentioned in the last report, and it's still not done, whatever it is. I don't know what the compression seals are, but
Me either.
There's, so under your girders, the concrete girders that sit on, if I'm thinking of the right thing, because we had to do it out here on 69. Where the girders sit on the concrete, there's like not neoprene, a real thick plastic pad
okay.
that sits under there, that, because those bridges give and go under the
Okay,
weight and
move
the
around,
heat and
yeah.
cold, and if those are gone, it's either that or it's the seals at the joint at the end of the bridge. I'm not sure which one they're referring to.
Yeah, I
but-
don't know either. I don't know if we get docked on that or not, but I think it actually causes damage if those aren't there.
Yeah. They should go look at their own bridges, 'cause most of those-
I think they do, but
yeah.
I don't know how often they fix their own bridges.
Yeah, I know we still have some debris on the pillar on that one and Waterloo that needs to get removed. We went down this late summer to try and do it. We couldn't get out there with the equipment we had. So I'm hoping to find a contractor to go do it for us.
Signs up Martinez.
Yeah,
Have you been talking to them about that? You got a plan on that? What are we gonna do? with
No,
that?
I was gonna ask him before we left,
Okay,
when you were done, just cause I've heard from Ken Verbrett. One person up there didn't even know they were up.
that's
They
how
were up
long
for
they
a
were
day.
there.
Yeah,
It's not even a week.
But Ken said he's got some property up there where we can put a camera, we can figure something out if, when we get them back up. We probably need to figure that out maybe before we put them back up.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part with the camera, one, if you're doing like a game camera, they're not close enough to where we have the signs. Unless he's got property farther down,
He does.
but then you're catching everybody that drives by, so we're gonna get 500 pictures a day. So it's a little. I mean, it might be worth it. I mean, worst case scenario, we don't catch the info we need, but. I think we need to do some steel posts, and I think I've got some here in the yard. We can drive some steel posts in there, at least that'll make it harder for them to cut them down. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting to see.
Well, and I think we need to let the residents know that they're up there. PPLT had a camera up there, but it's not up there anymore. I don't know where exactly that they had it.
Yeah,
So we're gonna.
I'm pretty
take
sure it
another
wasn't a
run at that.
resident. Yeah, pretty sure it wasn't a resident up there that cut them down.
I'm sure it wasn't. But I don't think, I mean, I've had some people say, well, it was PPLT that did it, and I don't believe that either. It was somebody who was hiking up there. I mean, that's not, the hikers aren't PPLT for the most part.
Right.
They're just people going up there to use the trail. And they wanted a sign to hang in their bar. And
I don't think that's
firewood.
why, because they were sitting there the next morning, but then they got. Somebody told me when they cut them, they had just cut them and left the sign of the post in the ditch, but then when we went back up there later that next day, they were
They
gone.
were gone.
Yeah.
Never find Martinez, never. North of Jackson. Ridge. Jackson Creek. That's the border.
I usually go for South Hills and then follow it up and around.
Also, Hills. Martinez, yeah. Where's it hit? South Hills, did I lose it?
Go back
Down
up to the
further
right.
back. Yeah,
Back down here? Okay, there we go. I was just curious, see
Right
what it looks
there.
like on the ground as far as where you could actually put a camera. And not much.
but what Ken, where did you put the signs, Bear? Cause I never,
think
they were
they
down
were
before I got a
right-
chance to go look at them.
Right about there.
Right in where the trees
Okay.
start, where it narrows up, huh?
Is it just?
And I'm sure Carl would let me
Yeah.
put one up there, but
If we could get a sign and then have a camera close to the sign, that would help. So do we just pick up whoever's at the sign?
What does an air tag cost?
not much, but
Be hard to hide on the sign.
they'll see it.
How big are they?
Huh?
They're just
They're
little, aren't they?
bigger than a quarter, but they're quarter-inch thick.
Mhm.
And they've gotta be in contact with the iPhone at some point. They don't just all the time. They got,
Yeah,
when
you
they got
gotta
an
go
iPhone.
near it, like. My wife bought one for the cat, and it's only updates when the cat comes home.
Yeah, when it hits an iPhone. I figured that out
Kinda-
too. I thought it would track everywhere, but it doesn't.
It defeats the purpose
Yeah,
if you've lost your luggage or something.
yeah.
It works good in populous areas where there's phones everywhere, but in the rural areas, it doesn't work very good. So.
Yeah, I know Carl would let me put up a camera on a tree over there. We've got some game cameras that we bought for other sign issues in the past.
I'll send you Ken's email so you can,
I'm sure I've got it.
not this one, I don't think.
Oh, the email itself. I've got his email address.
No,
but-
this is a new, this is an
okay.
email about where to put a camera.
And it sounds like this lot didn't get sold like we were hoping. It's something else, so we're gonna have to start back on square one.
Yeah, that's a steep problem.
Yeah. But if we can get the trailhead moved back down here.
Well, that's where it's at.
I
No,
think
it's way up there.
Oh,
It's like up in here somewhere.
That's the problem. That's why they're parking
well,
up there.
but that's why that public right of way was put in there, was so they could have the trailhead come out there.
Just through the one lot to get them up to the public land or
Mm.
whatever. I'm not even sure where it's at, but I think there's an easement through one of these, maybe even this lady's here that does gives easement to get the trail from the road to the public land.
I thought the one survey I looked at with Ladena shows that continues up to that road and driveway as a public easement down to where it comes off there.
Nope.
And that don't look like that anymore, cause the fire
No.
department put their turnout up there
Well, and it's
Right there.
been
Yep.
developed.
on the other side.
They put some over here too.
Yep.
Is there a driveway here still or?
Yeah, this
There's a
driveway's still
driveway
there,
'cause
cause
they
that
built
goes
the
to,
house.
that goes to a house there. And it goes to Chelsea George's property. But the fire department widened that whole thing out on the other side of there.
The lady that paved her road last year and threw a bunch of leftover asphalt in here was gonna do that again this year. I forgot to tell you that. I don't know if she had any extra, or if that even happened, but
We had intentions to go up there with that new patch truck 2 weeks ago, and then we couldn't get oil when we were told we could get oil, and it's not worth putting asphalt in without it. It's just gonna blow out again, but. So this spring, when we can start doing patching again, we're gonna go up and do some asphalt work on that section of road.
the last time they dumped their extra asphalt in there, I think it made a big difference. It actually helped the road, so.
Yeah, we might go up and we got that big spreader from Lewis and Clark that we might overlay that section. You know, since we can charge them for the materials. It'd take us a day to go in there, fill the potholes, and then overlay that section with, you know, an inch or two of asphalt and help fix that first 50 or 100 yards, whatever it is.
We gotta get some kind of drainage on the northwest side. I think that's what's happening, isn't it? Is it coming down the?
Yeah, it's
Where the
running down
fence
the
is.
road. Yeah,
That's where,
Jumping
that's the
across
fence
road.
problem.
that's where the fence is, yep.
Good. How about flap? Did you meet with
Yeah, we've met with Carl. Looking at kind of my priorities from what I've seen, we're looking at doing some multi-stage proposals. McClellan Creek was kind of the highest priority just because of how bad that road's deteriorating. So the hope and the plans or the proposals that we're looking at is one, kind of the giant dream is to start at the intersection with 518 and go all the way up to, I can't remember whose property it is, but there's a big red barn just up past the end of the asphalt, about a quarter mile. And it would be to do a complete rebuild and repave on that section. But that's the big pipe dream that I don't think would happen. We're probably talking $10+ million. The other one would be a mill and fill with drainage improvements on what's there. And then chip seal. And then the other one was to be to grind it up like we did kind of on Corbin with the stabilizer we'd be able to do a better job of it this time. And then chip seal over the top of it. So the other part that we're gonna look at doing was putting in for Basin Creek Bridge, the one that we were just discussing, and getting that one replaced. So he didn't want to do too many, but if we did a couple with different phases and varying dollar amounts, he says that usually is a good recipe for success. I'm working on getting him traffic data, and he's supposed to be getting me a list of all the information they need from us so that we can help get those packets put together. But
can you get a lump put on that list? Lump Gulch?
I can. I mean, he was worried. I mentioned Lump Gulch to him. He was worried about putting in too many.
Okay,
He wanted to focus kind of on two,
okay.
but it just depends. Do we prefer McClellan or Lump, or we can, they'll put in whatever we tell them to put in.
Sure. Yeah, I think for a high end one, McClellan would definitely be the top tier, and then Lump Gulch could just be, you know, material. It doesn't even have to be chip sealed or anything, just some material in there.
Yeah.
Keep it from washboarding out a day after you grade it, you know.
Well, and then we come back to drainage issues and
Yeah,
other problems.
well, we can do whatever we want. I think lump should be in that
Yeah.
list for sure.
And we can do that. And maybe that's another small one we can put in for is for, you know, figure out how much material we would need to get up into Travis or something. And, just to get that material. So, because with McClellan, there's gonna be 3 different proposals, more than likely, you know, with the Basin Creek Bridge, that'll be 2, or make it 4 separate proposals. So,
With bridges, we used to get money from, help me out, Helen.
TSEP,
Is it TSEP, Treasure State? I think so, but that would get us a good chunk of money, and then we would budget. That might be a better option than trying to use flat for that, because that's how we always replace bridges was TSEP funding.
That's for Basin Creek.
Because Cause flaps at least 2 or 3 or 4 years out, right?
Oh, at least.
So
At least.
TSEP, if we could get on the list for that grant for the bridges, at least whatever bridges you're thinking. That might be a better route than the flap for bridges.
Yeah, and I know that, they're still working on some of the state bridge funds, for the Boulder Cutoff Bridge. And last time I talked to Carl, he was gonna push that for just the repairs.
Okay.
But they are still talking about some more funding for replacement.
I haven't
So
heard much on that.
it's
lately.
been really quiet for the last year, year and a half. But he says
Yeah.
the rapid repair
Mhm.
that hasn't been very rapid, those funds are still there for us to utilize. So he's gonna
Okay.
push. I'm pretty sure we've already signed the task order for it. They've just got to get the engineering plans put together.
Okay.
So that one's still in the works as well. It's not gonna make everybody happy because they all want a bigger bridge, but that bridge has been there longer than they lived there, so.
There's no more housing or anything up there. It is what it is pretty much.
Yeah. You know, if we ever got the money to replace it, yeah, we'd probably put a wider bridge, but for the repairs, the issue with that bridge isn't the shape of the bridge, it's the deck boards goes out too far beyond the outside girders.
Right.
So if somebody was to drive off of the runners to the edge of the bridge, then it would be overweight. As long as they stay on the runners, it's perfectly fine to run heavy equipment over, but.
Can we move the guardrails in so they can't get off to the side? I mean, is that?
So the conversation was to put a curb runner or a curb rail, you know, basically a 8x8 beam as a curb. And then improve a guardrail system on it, cause it doesn't have one.
Keep them right in the middle. Yeah, that would be good.
It would at least keep it so they can't drive too close to the edge.
Mhm.
And there was some redoing part of the deck structure was part of it, cause they're not very heavy beams, cross beams on that. So we're gonna look at doing that just to help with the weight rating as well.
Thanks for getting Warm Springs done. I think, he went way far on the McClellan Creek side. Too far. I think I straightened that out with Dylan, but he got it done. I don't think he broke any windows in his, in his, grader because he was.
You must have gone past where we talked about going to then.
Yeah, it was, let's see if I can find it on here.
I can't remember the folks' driveway up there, but.
Almost. Is that McClellan Creek there? Yeah, I think this is where you normally stop or we had
Well, we
stopped
don't
in the past?
normally stop on that side because we don't normally do that side.
Well, I mean, when we did, we wouldn't go all the way in and I think he said he went all the way to this, or to this
No.
driveway right here. So he pushed through all this, I think.
Yeah, that's not where we had discussed, so he went farther than he was supposed to. Cause our original, he had asked where to stop and I sent him a pin for that last driveway up above your cursor.
Okay, this last property here, yeah, that's what I thought we were gonna do, but it sounded like he got all the way up here where this, I don't know what is up here. Is it a Forest Service
That's Strawberry Lookout, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's where the
That's
lookout
to
is.
look out?
He did.
There's another house in here somewhere, maybe it was in
I think
there.
it's further towards the other end, but
he didn't go that far,
Okay,
cause he was only on that side for a few hours.
you might ask him where he stopped, but if we do any other work in the future, which we're gonna try to hopefully get out of, I would just go to here. 'Cause
Yeah, that's where he was supposed to go to.
But everybody, I didn't hear anything from anybody on this side, but there were several people from this side that said, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
They were very, very appreciative of that, so.
Good.
Yeah, something I meant to say is, and again, since Commissioner first said, I want to say thank you for Edward's addition.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard any feedback on that, or did it meet specs, or I mean, whatever for that complaint?
It was a little rocky. I mean, it wasn't as bad as, many of our other roads, but they're supposed to run a rock rake across that after they're done blading and it never happened. So there was a lot of rock in there, but they, you know, in our continuing efforts of trying to improve our drainage, they had pulled the ditches, which brought a lot of clay material in. And so when it got wet right after, they got a little soupy, and then with the rock left in there, it wasn't done to our standards. So we did get it redone about a month ago.
Yeah. Thank you.
We have roads that are worse, but it wasn't as good as it should have been.
I was working, I actually went up to, Clancy the other day for that floodplain. There's a floodplain meeting with the state. And they looked at the, Main Street Bridge by the church there, by the library, and they said it doesn't look like that needs to even be replaced. It just needs to be cleaned out, so. Might be something you put on your list for, at some point, that, it doesn't really affect anything unless they have 100 year.
I'll go look at it again, cause I was under there when Carl had contacted us. I went and measured it all out and I didn't see any debris under there.
I don't think it's debris in there, it's just where it comes in, there's trees and stuff that are encroaching on the.
Both sides of it,
opening
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how big the trees are, I mean,
So
when you
we
start cutting
remove
big
some of
trees
the
out.
Some of them are
vegetation
pretty
along
good
the
size.
creek, it'll allow better flow.
Right, yeah, cause it's squeezing down the flow of the bridge, just the trees and junk getting in front of the bridge, I think is my understanding
see.
of it, so.
Well, I'll take a look at that, cause that might involve another conversation with some neighbors anyways. but
Yeah. No, so they,
Church.
Trees,
that was nice that it's not a bridge conversation anymore, it's
Yeah.
just a clean out of the,
yeah,
of the stuff. And, we're trying to get the floodplain map changed, cause the amount of water that goes on the, what would be the west side of Main Street is very minimal, so we're trying to get that changed, and it's not affecting any residents, it's just a puddle this deep down the borrow pit essentially.
right.
And they didn't even account for that 18-inch culvert there where the subdivision is, so it'd probably be minimal if anything past there, so we're trying to get that designation changed. If that happens, then we'll probably be in good shape with that floodplain issue up there.
Okay.
So that was good news.
Make sure to add that, we'll get up there, cause that's one we could look at doing this winter in between storms.
Yeah, and I don't know, you have to look at it, it's not, it's definitely not an emergency.
No, but if it's something we can do while we are looking for things to do this
Yeah,
winter.
no, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, if we can get that cleaned out and more efficient, that would be great. And they said, whatever we do to that bridge isn't gonna affect anything downstream, that's what I was thinking. If we open it up there, is it gonna change the map downstream, cause you're getting more flow through there, but.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't- Your bridge bottom is the bottom elevation of your bridge is the same elevation as the top of your bank, so you're not gonna get any more flow.
Okay.
I'm not a hydrologist, but
Well, they said it wouldn't affect it, so whatever the math is there, it's fine,
good. They didn't wanna have to pay to replace a bridge that didn't need to.
right, no doubt, the bridge is in good shape. They've been having a conversation about the walking bridges that are north of that, or would be west of that, I guess,
Be east of it.
would it be east?
The other concrete bridge
No,
down,
no, up towards the school, that would be west, right, towards the school?
yeah, if there's one up there.
There's
There's
two.
one next to the bridge down
Right.
below it
There's one up farther, like
Is there
comes
one
out of
up
that
further?
subdivision.
that goes to, it goes to that subdivision,
Yeah.
Cherry Hills or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's two of them there, but they were trying to get some help fixing those. And, I said, they're not our bridges, we have nothing to do with those bridges.
No.
I said, talk to Mr. Marks, cause he's probably the ones that put them in there.
yep.
And, I haven't heard anything back, so I said, if you need some heavy equipment, if we can help you in some way, in some roundabout way, I think we could probably
Too
do
far.
that. Oh, I'm in Jeff City. I'm not a very good navigator here. There we are.
Right there.
There's
Yes, there's
there.
1 foot bridge.
And then there's another one up there somewhere. It might be under the trees, but.
I think they did those when they put that subdivision in.
Yeah,
So,
cause there used to be I wanna say there was a road or something that came through there and that was part of their deal was put the bridge in instead of the road. kind of
okay,
thing, For the kids in that subdivision to get to school.
that one looks well traveled there. It's
Yeah,
pretty traveled, but I don't know where the other one's at.
it could be up higher too.
The other one is actually, if you keep going, it's on the other side of the track.
Oh, is it all the way up
Where
here?
the track actually comes, you see that little, where the black walking trail is right there.
Oh, okay, there's a
So it
bridge
goes
there.
across, no, other way.
On the
This
other
way?
side
Yeah,
to
your
the left.
right, there,
Okay.
that way, where the bridge is.
So I told him, talk to Steve Marks. Steve's really good about keeping that stuff going, so he may got it figured out. I don't know, but I just wanted to mention that to you if they end up needing some, like a mini in there to move some stuff or lift something or whatever that we could possibly be available if that needs to happen, so.
I have enough bridges.
Just volunteering you for volunteer stuff there.
I have enough bridges. We, We have about 80 bridges, I believe, in our inventory. MDT only inspects about 38 of those, because the rest of them are smaller. Not all of those are actual bridges. Some of those are culverts over 4 foot, but less than 20 foot. There's some different criterias there. But the signs and the culverts are a big one for us too, because I think that iWork must have had a data issue at some point, because I swear we had over 1,200 signs and culverts in our inventory, and I looked the other day and we had 400.
It burped some out somewhere.
Yeah, so I just added another 200 culverts back into the system this week. So, yeah, there's a lot more out there. We still have to go back and re-inventory YL, because none of those are showing in the system. I'll bet you we got close to 2,000 culverts and more than that in signs.
Speaking of another one that's not ours, do we have a scour? You sending that scour plan
Yep.
for this, I'm assuming, because I haven't heard anything.
As far as I know, we're good on that, unless there was an emergency issue that we would have to send somebody out and close the road down.
Okay, so that's in the back of our mind, if we get a
Yeah.
flood event or something, to watch that bridge or the culvert.
Well, and I think we would be, the way I understood it is we would be notified through some avenue that there was an emergent issue with that bridge, and then that's when we would respond.
I don't know,
It
that scour
wasn't-
plan almost puts it on us to, like, if there's an event, we gotta go look at it once in a while.
I've got it saved, but I don't remember that being part of it.
Look at it, because that's how I read it, if it starts to,
The way the part that I remember was if there was an emergent situation, we would have to post it, and then we would have to send a guy out, and we put down once a day to go monitor it
Oh, okay.
during an emergent event.
okay,
But it wasn't to do regular inspections under normal conditions.
yeah, no, that sounds right. If it looks like whatever the water's doing might make that thing
Right,
fail, then we gotta go keep an eye on it, so,
yeah,
somebody driving into the drink.
yeah. And we can always, and part of that was we can close it. We'd still have to send a guy out there just to monitor the bridge, but we can close that bridge in an emergent situation. So,
Perfect, okay. Very good, I think that's all I had.
short list.
It's just-
I didn't
This
have
last
much this
year.
time, except the one issue
Ambush?
in the sign.
That issue's not gonna go away till someday.
And I think Elk Park Fire, I told them we would help them with heavy snows and stuff. I gotta still figure out what we're gonna do with that.
Yeah, well, right now, we're definitely not doing it, and I talked to Buck about it yesterday, because that ground is still really soft.
Yeah.
He said he went down to check it, and it was really soft, so he
Yeah.
wasn't gonna touch it.
Yeah, it's not quite frozen yet.
No.
And Elk Park will freeze first.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised it's not froze.
okay,
It's cold, but it don't stay cold very long.
Thing will be
The
adjourned.
sun hits it and warms it right back up.
thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bear.
Bear,
Thank you, Bear.
appreciate it. Tell Dylan I missed him.
Yeah, I'll let you know. All right.
In the meeting, sir?
Yeah, I guess you didn't go, sorry.